making his way to centering, being led by Pat Christophe, the man we like to call the Wonder. Antoniou, hammer.
Here he comes.
Wonder.
I wonder if he's been out the back practicing some of those spinning back kicks with Clay and Matungi.
You wonder about the Wonder and his spinning back kicks, his triple kicks. I tell you what, folks, you talk about one of the hottest kickers in Australia, and you talk about this young fella, Tony the Wonder Antoniou.
Ladies and gentlemen, his opponent, Murat, Mehmet.
Oh, listen to the ovation as young Murat Mehmet makes his way to centre ring with Buddy Hadara. They call this young fella the Rocky Marciano of Aussie kickboxing, Murat Mehmet hammer.
Well, certainly a walk-up fighter and a very, very tough competitor, Murat Mehmet. He's going to have to get hit with some clean shots to put him down. But a good battle we are in for.
Let's go across to the man in the bow tie, Mr. Andy Raymond.
On this occasion, we're scheduled for 5 two-minute rounds, an all-Victorian affair. Introducing first and fighting out of the blue corner, weighing in at 66.8 kilos. Trained by Pat Christophe, ladies and gentlemen, the West Side Wonder, Tony Antoniou. Standing across the ring, fighting out of the Braveheart Academy. Ladies and gentlemen, he weighed in slightly less at 68.3 kilograms. Murat Mehmet. Malcolm Bullner, your referee in charge of the action when the bell rings, and your judges at ringside that time, Mark Corrie, Jamel Hassan.
Well, Noble Malcolm Bullner, the third man in centering. This one is going to get wild, folks. Murat Mehmet and a very parochial crowd behind him against the Wonder, Tony Antoniou. We're set for 5 by 2. Buddy Hadara in the corner with Murat Mehmet, also Paul Fifield helping out. And it'll be interesting to see later on tonight, Hammer, in the main event, Paul Fifield training Gurkhan Ozkan for the big grudge match against Arthur Sakanis.
Really, has Gurkhan got a new trainer? Because that's unusual.
He has indeed. Ozkan versus Sakanis, the one we've been waiting 18 months for, and you're going to see it shortly. Don't blink an eye. Don't go anywhere, because it's coming up. Also, Cenk Baig versus Mike Coke, and Richard Walsh making a return to the ring. Man who's had more comebacks to the Rolling Stones. Hammer, Richard Walsh, and he's going up against Jason Vermar under full Muay Thai rules.
Training out of Bunchu Gym now, the lovely Gold Coast, the home of Car Carnival.
Gary and Max and all the crew.
All of the boys,
Big
always
hello.
watching Fox Sports, major action.
Malcolm Bullner with both men in centre ring now. And we hope you're enjoying the show wherever you're watching right around the country. A big hello to Jack Mackrell, his wife Vanessa. They're expecting their firstborn child. And also the Mango Hillbillies. A big hello to all of them. Always big fans of all the broadcasts we bring to you.
The Mango Hillbillies.
The Mango Hillbillies. Sounds like a cocktail you might have at a nightclub, Hammer. Oh, the Mango Hillbilly and a cowboy, please. We are ready for the first of 5 rounds. Murat Mehmet out of the red corner, and the Wonder, Tony Antoniou, comes out.
And a big hello to all the boys at the Whiskey Bar Mothership at the Mercury Lounge on Sunday nights. Roger and all the crew down there always watching the shows, and all the boys, Ange and all the boys at Whiskey Bar. You'll see Murat Mehmet popping in at Whiskey Bar. I've seen him down there myself. Tony Antoniou on the podiums at Heat.
Spinning heel kick by Murat Mehmet. Caught him behind the back of the neck.
Murat's shown he's got some kicks of his own against the Wonder.
Thank you to the human gig guide, the Hannah Mark Castanini. Well, you can hear the chants erupting already for young Murat Mehmet, the Rocky Marciano of Aussie kickboxing. Whipping high left round kick to the head there. Murat says, come on, son. What have you got for me, Tony?
Have a look at the speed of Tony Antoniou's kicks. They're rocketing out with great haste.
Another exponent of ITF Taekwondo, Tony Antoniou, formerly training with Robert Lai. And now under the auspices of Pat Christophe. After a brief stint with Johnny Sheeter, back to training with Pat Christophe and switching stance to southpaw to line up that high rear leg round kick.
Antoniou got those instep protectors on for some reason. might be more for his own protection rather than that of his opponent, I'd say.
Well, I was talking to Murat Mehmet before the fight's outside in the car park, and he was saying he was going to try and go early at the jaw of Antoniou, try and make a quick night of it. Inside thigh kick there from Mehmet.
Antoniou's last fight was against Michael?
Was here at the Kilo Basketball Stadium, and he actually got a defeat in that one, Hammer. And Murat Mehmet's last fight was against Rob Pride at the Crown Showroom about 6 months ago, and he beat the boy from the bush, Rob Pride. So one man coming in off a loss, one man coming in off a win, and both with a lot at stake here tonight. There is a big rumour going around that this could be Antoniou's last fight, Hammer.
Well, I suppose that would depend on the outcome. But I think Antoniou's last fight was against Ben Smullen.
Yes, Ben Smullen, there you go, into the first round of action, and he was on the defeating end, the losing end against Ben Smullen. Let's see how he goes here tonight.
He's on the comeback trail. He's on the comeback trail, Antoniou, and that was a great first up round from him. Very agile, very high-scoring round with lots of work rate of both the boys, but still having a look at each other. Mehmet started very good, but Antoniou, I feel, started to get his feet and his stability a lot more towards there. There's a spinning back kick for spinning back kick trade-off. The start of that round. Mehmet coming off probably the scorer in that little encounter. As they square up again, Mehmet, lead leg round kick. Got to pay that one. Round kick, lead leg. Antoniou caught on the gloves, but good hand combos from Antoniou in the corner there on Mehmet. Probably 2 or 3 of those punches getting through the guard of Murat Mehmet. Once again, axe kick there from Antoniou, getting behind the guard there of Murat Mehmet, and the round kicks. Murat Mehmet knows what he's up against, and he's keeping his gloves absolutely plastered to his head.
Malcolm Boomler gets us underway here in the second round. It's been a crackerjack fight so far. If you just joined us, folks, Murat Mehmet versus the wonder, Antoniou. And you're ringside from the Kilo Basketball Stadium. Antoniou copping one a little bit south of the border. Snappy handiwork, high left round kick to finish proceedings there for Antoniou.
Antoniou persists in going high. I think I'd like to see him probably chop down on the legs a bit more, because all his opponents now know that Antoniou is a big head kicker and likes to aim above the waist. Perhaps what he could do is confound his opponent by starting to chop away at the legs. He's got the speed, and he would certainly land a lot of scoring technique if he started perhaps to chop at the thigh rather than always going above waist.
Murat Mehmet's got to start stringing together those combinations. He's relying too much on the one shot off the right hand thus far. Antoniou keeping the busier of the two. There was a straight right hand from Mehmet, caught him on the ear of Antoniou. Both men in the centre of the ring. Antoniou comes forward, trying to force him back into the red corner, get some distance to work those spinning kicks of his, and the high right round kicks to the head. Nice left hook, straight right combination there from Antoniou. Should have followed up though with a kick. Turns him around with the right hook, does Murat Mehmet. Outside thigh kick, as the Hammer mentioned there from Antoniou. He's going to do more of those. Rib kick, right hand, left round kick to the rib cage from Mehmet. Nice combination. Turning back kick, didn't quite find the mark there from Antoniou. And Mehmet again going after the jaw, but finding Antoniou a little hard to catch here in centre ring, Hammer.
Certainly, he's a little bit slow off the mark, Murat. I think he's just feeling a little bit frustrated. And that would be because Antoniou, you have a look at him, Michael, he is always moving, he's always on the balls of his feet. He's a very clever fighter, very cagey fighter, and he knows a sitting target is what gets hit. Now, if you keep moving, your opponent has to keep refixing his focus on you, and that delays the attacks, or that delays the strikes. So keep moving, makes it hard for your opponent to hit you.
Comments from the former Aussie champ, Mark the Hammer Castanini, ringside with myself, Michael Chavello. We go to the towels at the end of that round. Hammer, how do you see it?
Good scoring round for Antoniou, I'd say. Another one. For him, first round, you could have gone even. Second round, definitely, I'd give it to Antoniou. So he's starting to pile up a few points. Murat Mehmet, a little bit frustrated, I'd say, in the second round. And that would be because of the fact that Antoniou is just so cagey and moving around constantly.
Hold him back. Snap out of it. Snap out of it. First. He's got legs like this,
Once again, Antoniou just light on the balls of his feet, shoulders moving. When you do balk your shoulders forward, your opponent is a little bit perturbed by that because they're not sure which arm is going to be launching the punch. And Antoniou's got all the moves working for him well in centre ring tonight. Murat Mehmet having a little bit of a hard time getting through the guard of Antoniou, and when he does push forward, he gets caught. As Antoniou finishes that exchange with a leg kick.
We're about to rock and roll into the third round of action. This one's set for 5. Antoniou versus Mehmet. Spinning hook kick there from Antoniou. Flicking high left round kick off the lead leg there from Murat Mehmet. Mehmet's got to pick up the work rate in this round. Good inside fire kick just above the knee there from Antoniou. Turning back kicking close. Oh, whipping a high left round kick just whistled past the brow of Antoniou. Mehmet going for the knockout blow. Antoniou ties him up, nowhere to go. Malcolm Bullner separates both men. And you get the feeling that one of these two men could pull off a knockdown very shortly, Hammer.
Certainly, it's they're loading up. They're still looking very fresh. Both boys very, very fresh and very fit, moving well, firing punches at pretty much the same rate that they started with in the first round. That's always a good way to tell whether a fighter is obviously a testament of their fitness. If their movement starts to slow through the rounds, you know they should have maybe done a few more bag rounds, Michael.
Well, Antoniou, like a bundle of energy, dancing around with the balls of his feet, goes for the inside fire, collects him on the knee, slapping right hand to the side of the jaw there from Mehmet. Spinning heel kick from Antoniou. Antoniou charges him now. High left round kick from the Wonder. He's got more kick than in excess, Hammer.
Well, they don't have much kick anymore, but they used to have perhaps.
That was uncalled for, but anyway. Here we go. You can hear the chants again erupting from Murat Mehmet. Really rally behind the call. This crowd, they are baying for Antoniou's blood. Steps in, does Malcolm Bullner, separates both men. Pat Christophe calling for Antoniou to go to the ribs, and Antoniou answers with a nice rib shot off the rear leg. Beautiful step up side kick, almost an outside crescent kick there from Antoniou, showing that Taekwondo repertoire yet again. Inside thigh kick to the inside lead thigh from Antoniou. Snappy right hand, didn't find the target, and that round's got to belong to the Wonder Hammer.
Again, Tony Antoniou, just because of his sheer speed and I'd say supreme fitness level, he's just bouncing and he's throwing kicks and punches out from all angles, and I think that's really phasing Murat Mehmet.
Now, go on. Well, you play first. When you hit him, he doesn't want to hit you. Put your arms up here, mate. Put your arms up a bit higher. When you hit him, he doesn't want to hit you.
Once again, you see Antoniou just missing with that spinning back kick. Just got a little bit out of whack with his range, but always on the move, always on the balls of his feet, Tony Antoniou, and his hands and legs are coming out from all angles. His distancing has been a little out, but nevertheless, the speed is always there.
Seconds down.
Well, we are ready to roll into the next round of action. You can hear Tarek Solak yelling the instruction of throw the left hook from Murat Mehmet. Paul Fifield, Fadi Hazara, all in the corner of Murat Mehmet. A lot of expectation on the young man. As we said, we haven't seen him for about 6 months, and they're hoping for a return to victory. There's the left hook from Mehmet. That's what he wants to see more of. Antoniou wincing when hit on the jaw from Mehmet. Step up side kick to the midsection, a real gut muncher. Antoniou now dancing around the perimeters of the ring. Mehmet trying to bundle him maybe into a corner and unload the handiwork. Oh, whipping, spinning heel kick again. Lightning quick Van Damme technique from Tony Antoniou. He is really beautiful to watch when he's on his game, Tony Antoniou. And he's on his game here tonight, folks. Inside thigh kick from the Wonder. Mehmet ties him up, no knees, of course. Malcolm Bullner separates both men, Hammer.
Well, both boys are working at a furious rate, knowing that this is the second last round, Michael? Fourth round?
It is penultimate round of action.
So the fight still there for the taking for Murat Mehmet. But Tony Antoniou, ever fit, ever focused, and moving at a good work rate at the moment, has got this fight well and truly in his grasp.
There are some very dark red and purple welts underneath the right armpit of Murat Mehmet, where he's taken those round kicks to the upper rib cage from Tony Antoniou. Mehmet just ties him up. Bullner separates both men.
Interesting to see the tactics of Tony Antoniou. He's either out at range where he can execute those very quick legs of his, or he's in close, cutting off Murat's hands. He's not staying at that boxing range. That is Murat's strength.
Tony Antoniou rallying now, spinning outside crescent kick, just smiling at Murat Mehmet, saying, come on, Mehmet, what do you got for me, son? Whooping overhand right there from Antoniou, came close. Goes for the rib kick, tucks it under the right arm again. Inside fire kick from Antoniou. The crowd seems to have swayed in Antonio's favour now. The local Westside Wonder. Murat drops his hands, invites Antoniou in. There's the end of that round. We've got one more to go. Hammer.
One more to go. Antoniou finished very, very strongly towards the end of that, the fourth round. And that's been pretty much the story thus far, with Antoniou finishing the rounds very well. And he is very well prepared for this battle. Murat Mehmet looking ever frustrated.
Once, I'm going to go to here. Don't reach. Take his body and reach to his head. Inner thigh, outer thigh. Just sit back. It's heavy footed. It's heavy. Last round.
Once again, we see the boys measure off. Mehmet just getting his range a little bit confounded there, and the spinning heel kick there from Antoniou. If that would have landed, I tell you what, Mehmet would have been in a lot of bother. As they bounce off again, Antoniou measuring the distance. Nice lead round kick there, and then hand combinations working over the top from Antoniou. He's got it all together, and you see him whip that spinning heel kick around on the break.
Well, we have seen a war for 4 rounds. We are going into the 5th and final round of action, both men touch gloves, and we are underway between the wonder, Antoniou, and the Rocky Marciano of Aussie kickboxing, Murat Mehmet. A rib shot off the lead leg there from Antoniou, then goes up to the head, double forearm guard, caught it from Mehmet. Outside fire kick was a real chomper, a real thigh stopper. Another one from Antoniou, turning it on here in the final round. Goes under that right arm of Murat Mehmet again to Antoniou. Mehmet taking a short right hand to the side of the head, he shakes it off, says, "You can't hurt me, Tony." Antoniou smiles at him, step up, side kick, the wonder kick of Antoniou. Tucks underneath the right hand, Mehmet responds, left rib cage. Inside thigh kick from the wonder. Wild looping right hand by Murat Mehmet. Mehmet now pulling out all the stops. Inside thigh kick again from Antoniou. Antoniou picking his shots well. Pat Christophe, all sorts of instruction in the corner.
Well, Christophe should be quite pleased with Antoniou thus far. He seems to be doing everything that he's been instructed to. Working quick.
Nice evasion under the left hook there from Antoniou. Goes for the inside thigh kick again. Nice rib kick there from Murat Mehmet. He's got to pick up the work rate. Now's the time to go, go, go. Chopping the right hand down to the bread basket there, Antoniou. Didn't quite have the effect he was after. Mehmet now sucking in the air. He moves forward again. A little bit tentative though to throw anything. He's got to get moving with the leather. Murat Mehmet fires a straight right hand. High left round kick in close from Mehmet. Rib kick just catches Antoniou on the elbow. Crowd rallying behind Murat Mehmet now. Can he pull a kangaroo out of the hat? Antoniou bouncing around on the balls of his feet. Step up side kick there.
As the clock ticks down for this fight.
High left round kick, overhand right by Murat Mehmet. He hasn't got too much time left. Time is against him. Outside fire kick to that right thigh from Antoniou.
There's not a lot Mehmet can do. Ticking down now. He's got to land the big shot, but Antoniou keeps working all the way through to the last round.
There it is, Hammer. Is it a successful return to the ring for the wonder? Antoniou.
What an awesome battle that one was, but on my scorecard alone, I'd have to say Antoniou just the busier of the two. Murat Mehmet just couldn't find his range here tonight. He is one tough fighter, Murat, but tonight he unfortunately didn't get out of low gear into that high gear status that he should have been in against a fighter the caliber of Antoniou.
Hammer, maybe that result, if it goes Antoniou's way, of course, we have to wait the decision, might quash those rumours of Antoniou this being his last fight. All mighted, we'll see yet.
Once again, just checking the replay of the action of that last round. Low kick traded for a bit of a hand combination there from Mehmet, but sending Mehmet backward was that leg kick from Antoniou. Antoniou now working crisply. See how quick his hands and legs combine. Throws the hands up high, finishes with that low round kick off it. Again, step up round kick, yelling at Mehmet as he calls him up. As he steps in, you see Antoniou calling him up, going, come on. But really pumped for this one, Antoniou. And I think deservedly so, this one should go his way.
Folks, once again, we go to the judges' scorecard. Judge Mark Corrie scored the bout 50-47 Antoniou. Judge Jamal Hassan scored the bout 50-50. Judge Matt Tyne scored the bout 48-48. Your decision, a draw.
Well, there you have it, Hammer, a drawn decision and a very unpopular result amongst the crowd.
No, not a correct decision at all, I'm afraid.
I don't see, Hammer, how two judges could give it a drawn contest.
I like Murat Mehmet as much as any other fighter. He's a gentleman and he's a very good man, Murat Mehmet, but there is really not a way that he could claim to have drawn that fight. Antoniou, I tell you what, if he was thinking about giving the sport away, that'll be the one that'll do it. As Tarek now steps into the ring, the ever controversial Tarek Solak. What's he got in store for us, Michael?
Gentlemen, I don't think that was a draw. I trained Murat, so I'm responsible for him. I apologise on the bad decision. I think Anthony's the winner, so I'd like to give him a trophy.
Well, there you go, Mr. Controversy himself, Tarek Solak, and he's won over the crowd. And certainly voicing our own sentiments, Hammer, that Antoniou did enough, more than enough, to win this contest.
Just, while I got a chance, I just want to make a point. The last time Turks fought Greeks in this venue, it wasn't one of my shows, but it was ugly. And this time I promised everybody there won't be any trouble. This is my show, there won't be any trouble. A winner's a winner. That young man did win. We can see it from a mile away. His father and I both decide that. So I think he's the winner. Enjoy the show. There's more to come.
Tarek Solak, ladies and gentlemen.